Alrighty, so the new Diane King are out, of course. I was actually recording the day they came out, but it was later in the day, and I just ended up getting busy. But I did a bunch of test matches and stuff like that, and I'm glad that I didn't put that video out because this unit actually takes a little bit more thought than I originally had anticipated. I thought it was just going to be another one of these like brain dead sort of click your skill and kill the enemy kind of characters, but there's a little bit more to this unit. Of course, the passive is gigantic, just like you would expect with a brand new festival character, but there's a couple of different things that you kind of have to like take into consideration with the whole petrify thing. There's a couple of different buffs that the character uses. This is by far the best team that I've seen just in general, which is crazy because the Fairy team has never been a good meta team. But I tried to use the Sins team a little bit. It was not good. The Sins team just does not have the bulk that this team has. And I was just losing characters pretty quick. Plus, I mean, if I was using the team a little bit more efficiently, I probably would have done better because you really have to utilize the Petrify to make sure that you can get through Hell and the retrogression stacks that she has. So basically the idea here is once you get a Wrath of the Fairy King stack, which you get 2 if you use the Grace, or it's not a Grace, it's a Unity, you can now petrify a character as long as you have one of these stacks on, and then I am going to just double attack into mill him here with single targets. So the idea here is that we're just going to petrify Hell turn 1 so that way we get rid of the retrogression stack. We're going to attack into Millim so we can hopefully get her low. It would have been nice if we could have went ahead and popped retrogression on that, but it's fine. So Millim could potentially do a lot of damage here. We do have the damage cap from Alpha, which is really, really nice. So we should be able to survive a lot of this, actually, which is really great. The problem with this team is that you're using the brand new Festival character. You're using Lancelot, who is another Festival character, which he is on the same banner, so if you're lucky, you could pull both of these. But Alpha and Beta in the backline is a pretty tall order, unfortunately. So it is a little bit troubling in that sense. I think, honestly, we need to do something like this, maybe. Okay, so nice. That's going to pop retrogression. The AoE... this AoE is probably not going to kill Hell, if I had to guess. Yeah, unfortunately, it does not. I should have used the Diane AoE first, because this is going to kill off Hell. Unfortunately, Millim is going to survive with 1 HP there, and she just got her regeneration rate, so she got more HP back, which is a bit unfortunate. I could have played that better for sure. That's just the biggest thing, is that the Unknown team right now is still so good. The fact that they literally have a way to prevent characters from dying unless you have a buff removal is really, really strong. So you just got to be really careful with the cards that you're using and in what order you're using them, of course. But that's honestly... I love when they evaporate like that. It's honestly really cool, as well. Like, I think that it's awesome that this character is a little bit more thought-provoking, I guess. I don't know if that's quite the word that I want to use, but yeah, it's just a little bit more interesting to use instead of it just being like click skill, kill enemy kind of thing. Oh, I hate that her passive works like that. Oh, we actually are going to lose this. That's so unfortunate. Oh well. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I have seen a couple of Goddess teams here or there, but honestly, it's mainly just Diane teams and then the Unknown teams. And Diane also has a part of her passive where she can't be petrified turn 1, so if you go up against like a mirror match or just another Diane, you got to make sure that you're not trying to petrify her turn 1. Okay, so we have another Unknown team. Classic. This is pretty much the go-to. Let's go... So we're kind of locked in on like turn 1. I wonder if we could... I wonder if we could do something like this, maybe, and then petrify. I don't... that actually looks like it could be really good. Doing it like this, because I don't think we're gonna lose any sort of stacks or anything on Diane. So this should still petrify, right? Okay, it does. So now we have retrogression popped, which means that we can just kill Hell off next turn, and then kill Milim as well, which shouldn't be an issue. Merlin, I feel like Merlin, she's obviously an LR behind now since we got the newest one, Brunhild, but I feel like she was so good on launch, and I think that she is still really good, like if you can go first with her, but I don't know, for whatever reason. I guess it just comes down to the fact that, like, maybe it's just that the fact that they're going second, or the fact that this team has so many stats. I don't know, but it feels like she's fallen off pretty hard, which is really surprising to say, considering how good she still is. So, boom, that's nice. Would have been better for me to kill with Alpha there, just to get the cleanse and heal back, but not a huge issue. And now at this point, we're kind of just chilling, because I don't think either of these characters are going to be able to completely kill us. Unfortunately, when they attack us on our turn, we lose our stack, which is a bit unfortunate. So I think I'm still not 100. That's the only thing I'm not 100% sure on with this unit at the moment, is I don't know how I'm getting those stacks right now. Like, I'm sure I'll figure it out, but I think it's just damage based. I could be wrong. I really don't know. I think we could just kill like this, actually. But, boom. That kills off Merlin. Okay, easy peasy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just damage based. Like, whenever I use like a big AoE with Diane, I notice that I get some stacks and stuff, but I don't know if my teammates can give me stacks as well. It's just, I'm still figuring some of that out. But now that I've like locked in on how to petrify and not completely throw the match, that has helped a lot with my win rate with the character, so that is obviously very good. Okay, of course, another unknown team. Reading over the passive a little bit more, it's definitely damage based. Like I was just saying, that I wasn't sure exactly how you're getting these stacks other than the Unity. So we put this Wrath of Earth stack on. Once we max it out at 400k damage, that is actually when we get the extra Wrath of the Fairy King stacks. So I guess it's just like a decent way to get them a little bit later in the match. You just have to be careful not to do too much damage on your turn, so that way you gain the stacks, and then whenever they deal damage to you, it takes the stacks away. So it's definitely like I said, this is a little bit more thought-provoking of a unit comparatively to just like, you know, the just big damage meta that a lot of the characters end up kind of falling into. So the unfortunate part is, unless you gain, or unless you like lucky card draw 2 of the single targets from Diane on turn 1, you're not going to be able to actually get good usage out of the 2 Wrath of the Fairy King stacks that you get from the Unity, which is a little unfortunate. I think we can actually just do this, because it does give you 2 stacks whenever you use the Unity, which is nice. I forgot this is going to... Well, it should be fine. This is only going to do 1 damage, unfortunately, but Merlin doesn't die. We take away the stack. This kills off Milim. We gain HP. We cleanse. And then Merlin's not going to be able to do much by herself. More than likely Rimuru in the backline. Actually, Camilla, which is good. I like that more than the Rimuru, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I don't know. We're kind of locking in. We're kind of getting this down. I think using the Lancelot cards turn 1 to pop Retrogression on Milim is actually really good. And then going ahead and petrifying the Hell, so that way we can get rid of it on her, so that way we can kill her next turn. It's all kind of fallen into place, I think. So, unfortunately, no AoE from Diane here. We don't have a stack, but let's single target onto the Merlin, just so that way we can, 1, put a mark on, 2, get some damage down, because this actually is going to kill the Merlin off. Well, yeah, this should actually still kill Milim, or not Milim, Camilla. So many names. Yeah, okay, that actually works out pretty good. I think I'm close to Champ 1. Kinda, sorta. It would take me another couple matches or so. We'll go ahead and try to get the Champ 1, and then we'll do a little bit of geared PvP as well. Ooh, okay. Balder team is quite interesting. I actually... I don't know. I am a little scared of Balder, I will say. I know that he can do some really big damage. I know that he also does not do the most damage when he's not on like a fully fleshed out like defense-based team. So this could either go one of two ways. I'm either going to get absolutely countered into oblivion here, which it does not look like that's going to be the case. I think that kills. Okay, yeah, we're chilling. Well, I said kills, but we're just trying to pop retrogression. Okay, yeah. Balder, I don't think is going to be able to compete with the amount of stats that this team has. Like, dude, the amount of stats that Diane, 1, gives to your teammates, and 2, gets from her teammates to her stats as well. Which I keep saying Diane, but it's just because she's the biggest character. Obviously, King is there, too. I don't know what else to call this unit, to be honest. Because Melly Liz is kind of what we call them. But either way. Yeah, so, ooh, big AoE here could be really good. I'm going to make sure that Hell dies so that way we don't accidentally pop retrogression. Okay, I'm glad that I did it twice there. That's with type advantage too. Yeah, honestly, Balder, not great right now. I have seen teams in the past, before this meta shift, where Balder was actually doing some really good stuff. Okay, he tanked that though. I mean, that was still pretty impressive. Ooh, don't forfeit. Yeah, but I did run into a couple of Balders like over the past couple of weeks when the meta was just like very, very unknown focused. And he was actually doing some pretty good stuff every so often, but I think at this point, I think this team just has too much heft, and he's just not going to be able to compete with that. Brother, he gets a stance all the time. I don't think this is the best idea, but oh well. I'm just not really worried about the stance, to be honest. Oh, he's dead. Oh, okay. I thought Nanashi was gonna survive that, but what a great unit, honestly. I love Diane and I love King. Them as a couple, very fantastic. What a cool unit. Okay, of course. I was hoping we would find something other than just pure unknown teams, but I guess that is kind of the meta. We didn't even... I mean, this is the last match for ungeared. I'm going to do at least a couple of geared matches, hopefully. Okay, we'll just go ahead and move into those now. Okay, so, I mean, geared PvP is basically just going to be the same thing. Not going to be a real big difference here. I think, honestly, like, we'll just be able to pop retrogressions and stuff like that a little bit easier, considering that gear adds so much damage. So, nice. That does some pretty good damage. That almost brought her down to 0 HP, which would have been, or 1 HP, I guess, would have been the better word there. The thing is, we just have to make sure that we kill Hell off first, because if we use, which I actually don't think it would be that big of an issue, because the AoE would end up bringing Milim down to 1 HP anyway. Actually, would it? She did gain a lot of HP back there. Let's go ahead and do this, because it'll kill and heal us. And then we can just throw out AoE and another one of these to try to make sure that we kill, just in case it doesn't. Oh, I forgot. We needed to use the single target first, because that's going to give Milim a stack. This is actually just only going to kill Rimuru, which gives her another stack, which makes this do nothing. So, bit of a misplay on my part there. It's just one of those things. Like, there's so much intricacy to the unknown team. There's intricacies to this team on how you need to play. So it's just a lot of stuff to take into consideration right now. But obviously that just kind of comes with time. But no big deal. Okay, Lancelot's dead there. We don't get any merges or anything. Full. Actually, not a huge deal, because we can just drain. I was going to say we're going to end up taking ult here regardless, but this will kill, and then we can just drain the Merlin, so it's not a huge deal either way. It's just annoying getting through the grace and the damage cap and everything like that on Merlin, unfortunately. We get another drain, too, which is actually really nice. Okay, we don't have the drain anymore. Well, he's going to be able to get the ult off. Actually, he won't, because now I can petrify, so that's actually really funny. So the Unity refreshes every 3 turns, and I originally was like, ooh, that's kind of a long time, but at the same time, it makes sense. You don't want that to be super often. So either way, I think it works out pretty good. I think I don't know. I think the unit is pretty well balanced. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is the fact that the passive doesn't work in deathmatch, because I originally was like, okay, like if they came out with Endura, they're gonna make it to where the next King that comes out, because King is the strong unit for the fight, they're going to make it to where King has a Petrify, so that way we have a new King that we can use. I guess they're maybe just still wanting us to use LR King for the moment, but even then, I would think that it would be better for us to just get a new King that was a little bit more, like, suited for the fight, because, like, whenever whenever OG Demon came out, we ended up getting a specific Diane, the Summer Diane, for the fight. And I mean, her cards aren't necessarily like tailored for the fight. Like, she does have an AoE, which doesn't make any sense, to be honest. Having that AoE does nothing for that fight, considering you're fighting just one unit. But I don't know. I think that they could come out with a new King and hopefully like tailor make it a little bit more catered towards the fight itself. And I thought that this unit was going to be the one to do that, but I guess not, because obviously they don't work in deathmatch. So. And I don't know. I don't know if this unit would even count as the strong unit, considering it's a duo unit with Diane and King. So I don't actually know that they work that way. I would have to check that. But even then, I would assume 1, probably not. 2, doesn't matter. The passive doesn't work. So not like it really matters at the end of the day. I love the fact that we get a damage cap with Alpha. It's honestly, like, it just... This is the unit to use. Actually, I think if we can do enough damage, this is probably our best bet. Yeah, because this is going to kill off... Oh, I didn't actually think that was going to kill both of them. I thought we had to pop Retrogression. No, we don't actually. I think I'm overthinking that a little bit, because Hell starts with Retrogression. Wait, no. I didn't think it worked like that. Maybe because Hell was on the far left, like, she technically, like, dies first, maybe? So it kills the passive, and then it gets rid of the retrogression stack on Milim? I'm not actually sure. I figured most of the time it would bring Milim down to 1 HP, as well as keep her alive, because Hell was still technically on the field during the card. But I guess not? I don't know. I don't know. There's so many, like, small things that, like, feel... like they're different than the way that you think they should be sometimes, which is, I don't know, a bit bizarre. I want to go up against another Diane or like a Goddess team at the very least. Give me something else. Come on. Come on. And this is the worst one to go up against just because it's a Frowner team, which it's not a huge deal. This team has enough single target to actually make things not bad at all in that sense, but we actually got really lucky here, though. Because we can just double Petrify and still get rid of the retrogression stack, which is nice. And honestly, the Petrify is really, really nice to go up against Merlins too, because using it against a character that has the Tarmiel Grace... Oh, I forgot. So this is actually a super cool strat that people are doing, where they're putting Ludo on Hell, which is really, really smart, because you can't be petrified. And it's making it to where you can't get rid of the retrogression stack. Very cool counterplay, I will say, like, super commendable. I love the fact that, like, people are actually thinking of ways to sort of, like, counter it and everything. Because honestly, the Unknown team is still super, super good. Like, definitely a top tier team. And the fact that they're, like, if you really look into it, there are some options to keep them, like, still very, very usable. Like, I don't think that, you know, I don't think the win rate on Diane or the Fairy team is going to be like 100%. of course. So the fact that she rushed ultimate too is not good. Let's go for... I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be able to petrify. I was going to say maybe I could max out a passive here. This hopefully kills off Merlin. Oh, I forgot we haven't popped retrogression yet. That was probably a bad move. We do have damage cap. Merlin doesn't always do the most damage. Oh, Rimuru actually removes damage cap on 2 of us. Ooh, Hell is going to do a lot of damage here if I had to guess. We probably threw... The Froudern comps are just incredibly annoying more than anything. Not looking good. Yes, looking very bad, actually. I mean, hey, that's completely fine. Good on him. I mean, that's an option, you know. As much as Froudern teams are kind of corny, you know, it is a valid strat, and I can't really be too mad at somebody for really utilizing their team, so it just kind of is what it is. Okay. Hopefully, this will be our last match, because it should put me in Challenger. I mean, I can always just play in Challenger, of course, but I think it'll be a good stopping point for this video at the very least. But yeah, I do actually like the unit quite a bit. The initial video that I was trying to record on Thursday when the banner dropped, I was like, dude, like, what is this? I was like, I do not understand. This unit is not that great, but it was because I was not utilizing the Petrify well at all, and the Unknown team was just getting retrogression popped twice, and then they were just doing big damage to me and wiping me, like they tend to do. So it's just one of those things where you have to play it smart. You have to know what you're doing with this unit. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. As long as you know what you're doing, the team actually works incredibly well. So, see, I'm going to test it here. Because Hell is on the left, if this can kill her and mill him at the same time, shouldn't that kill them in one attack? God, that was a lot of damage. It does. Okay, so I think as long as Hell is on the left... is she going to get back 40% HP here? I think she lives. Yeah. Unfortunate. So we end up petrifying, or not petrifying, skill blocking. But not a huge deal. Unfortunately, we're going to lose our Wrath of the Fairy King stack here, so we're not actually going to be able to petrify. I don't know how much HP she's getting back off of these attacks. Okay, not a lot at all, actually. I think we just do something like this. I didn't target. That's fantastic. I guess it doesn't really matter because they die anyway. I was going to use this to kill, but oh well. We're just not going to see a huge damage number from the Diane here because of the damage cap, unfortunately. But that is... I really wanted to see some more variety. That would have been nice. An unknown or a goddess team or another Diane team would have been nice. I don't know if people... I mean, because I'm recording this on Saturday morning, so I don't know if people have just already determined at this point that the unknown team is still better, so everybody's just running the unknown team instead, or if people just haven't got their summons in for Diane and King yet, or what. But I expected to see at least one other Diane team, but it was literally just unknown teams. Obviously, that can be completely just luck of the draw, and could have just been bad RNG for me on like the opponents that I was getting, but at the same time, still a little strange. So either way, I am pretty much done for now. I do really like the team and everything, or just the unit in general. I don't know what other interesting team comps I can try that are actually good, but I may try to do like a Sins team comp sometime soon. I honestly just don't think Giants are even going to be worth using because there's just so much, or like so few like Giant support units or just units in general. I just don't even know if it's worth trying. But either way, I might try a Sins team next. Obviously, it'll probably be in Challenger unless I record it after the PvP reset, which would be on Mondays or well, I am off Monday for Memorial Day, so I could potentially do that if I really wanted to, but more than likely I'll end up doing it either tomorrow or who knows, it could end up being next weekend before I end up putting another video out, just because I'm so bad at recording during the week now. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the new unit, because obviously I think that they're really cool. It's kind of refreshing to get a unit that you actually have to think about when you use. So yeah, see you guys later. Hopefully you guys had some good summons.